Start? Hi, everybody. Welcome back to GSX 2019 live from Chicago. ASI's TV, Chuck Harold, SecurityGuideTV.com. My next guest, what's your name, sir?
Scott Lowther.
Of course it is.
Good to see you.
I know that, buddy. Good. How you been?
Very good.
All
Yourself?
Right. What name of your company?
I'm with PetroChina.
And what are we talking about today?
I wanted to talk a little bit about executive travel to China and elsewhere.
Oh, this is, the news. Everything's about China these last couple of weeks, right? Things have changed in the executive protection area?
Certainly, and to some extent, I think there's a little bit of myth and there's a little bit of factual knowledge.
Right. What's going on?
I think when I went on this morning to look at U.S. travel advisories, for example, and Canadian travel advisories, they have China ranked in the same category as Mexico and the Dominican Republic and Jamaica.
That doesn't feel right to me.
No, it's all places that we all tend to go on vacation, and what it alludes to me is that when we travel, we need to take the same type of safety considerations we would going to those locations. Being a good neighbor, being aware of your surroundings. I think the only idiosyncrasy with China is doing your research and knowing what actions and what activities they allow and which activities they don't. And I think that'll keep you in good check.
Well, when in Rome, and that's only polite, by the way. Right?
Correct.
So if I travel abroad, I don't act like I act in Burbank. I try to act on the culture and do what's proper, and that's only the right way to do it, and certainly keeps you out of trouble. Right? But is there any other concerns maybe that an executive might need to think about beyond your basic travel safety? And I know when I worked at the studios, we had some of our executives who are on arrest lists in certain countries for crazy stuff. We had to research and find out about it, but anything particular we can focus on?
Well, with my executives and the people that ask me, it seems to be the hot button question in the last few months, is just have some sensitivity and awareness about your personal electronics. And it's not just
that's everywhere.
To China, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't take anything over there that you wouldn't want released.
Right.
The same as when I come to the U.S. Or anywhere for that matter. Just be smart with what you take with you with intellectual property and your personal electronics and your work equipment as well.
Now, your company's global, right? And based out of Canada, I guess the main base.
We are. PetroChina Canada is a part of PetroChina Limited, which our parent company is CNPC, China National Petroleum.
Okay. What's going on with the perceptions of physical versus cybersecurity in your world? Are executives more aware now that the cybersecurity aspect has to be kind of looked at a little bit more closely? To point, your phone, right? So, I'm going to put my phone on, take it over there, not worry about it. Are executives becoming more aware of that area? Because that's where a lot of the espionage and stuff is happening, obviously.
I believe so, and especially at our company, we're seeing a lot more attention being placed on cybersecurity, personal device awareness, login credentials, those types of things. I think that's where our true vulnerability is, not just with my company, but with executives as a whole, is with your digital footprint and being secured.
Who is taking care of executives for travel now? Is it the old-fashioned travel department internally, or are we going to outsourcing it to people that have a combination of, hey, I could book the flight, but I'm also going to do a background check for you?
What we're working towards is we have a travel company, of course, that'll book the flights, but we're working towards a model where executives, if they go overseas, we're going to go through HR, we're going to go through security, we're going to make sure they understand their risks, as well as what they need to be aware of when they go to those countries before they go. And ultimately, that traveler then has the option to go or not.
Now, that's an interesting point, because back in the day, it was assumed people were going to go, and we used to give internal advice and say, you know what, Venezuela might not be the place to go today, right? It might not be a place to make a movie, right? But they would go anyway, because it's a cost-benefit analysis. Is there anybody in the company, maybe not your company specifically, but I've heard a number of the corporations, if the security guy says it's a no-go, it's a no-go. In other words, sometimes they're deferring to the subject matter expert to say, I really don't want you to go because I know things that aren't going to work out well, maybe, right? Or is it really come down to the individual making a decision?
I think the individual has to make the decision. We're going to strongly come in and say yes or no, but ultimately, especially at our organization, is it critical that you go? We have a number of technology solutions where we can reach out to Beijing or
that's true.
Elsewhere and do that through video conferencing versus going on a flight for 14 hours.
How much do you travel every year?
I travel quite a bit.
Yeah? Once a month you're on a plane somewhere at least.
Every couple of weeks I'm on a plane somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Mostly to our facility up north in northern Canada in the oil sands.
Yeah. Fantastic. Scott, it's always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Always good,
You're
Chuck.
looking great. Give us your
Thanks.
website and name one more time for the We're all
It's petrochinacanada.ca.
Excellent. Back in a minute here at SecurityGuideTV.com, ASISTV.com, GSX 2019, Chicago. What did I forget? Oh, we're live.
And we're live.
And we're live. We're back in a minute here on the show.